we're going to be watching. We're going to keep our eyes peeled on the news, and if something crazy happens, we'll make a video about it and let y'all, hear our thoughts and all that good stuff.
Stay tuned for the emergency Julio Jones press conference. I'm just trying to speak it into existence. So, obviously we'll have to hop on here and talk about the Julio AJ Brown connection once he comes to Nashville. I'm just trying to put it out there and make it happen. Doing what I can.
It'll happen. Yes. Sending out the good vibes, and they will return in kind. So
yes.
Welcome in, everybody, once again. It's been a while, but this is Titans Tube still. My name is Justin, and my co-host Jake over here. How's it going, Jake?
It's going absolutely great, Justin. And I just have a particular feeling of excitement and goodness around this kind of Monday afternoon. A little something may have happened. I don't know what.
Some kind of news drop. It happened, guys. John Robinson has delivered once again a signature move. Dude, how many moves has he delivered for us at this point in the last 4 years? The Titans got their guy, Julio Jones from the Atlanta Falcons. Correct me if I'm wrong about the trade details, but it was just a second-round pick. Didn't have to give up a first and a fourth in 2023. And then the Falcons are giving us their sixth-round pick for some reason. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Julio Jones is a Tennessee Titan now. Dude, that is crazy to think about. I mean, honestly, Julio Jones is definitely one of my favorite receivers, like non-Titans, maybe player in general that I've been watching over the years. And he's probably was the best receiver of the 2010s. I mean, Antonio Brown was an absolute baller too. DeAndre Hopkins is kind of there. But, dude, Julio Jones is like Hall of Fame trajectory, only 32 years old, But still, he's going to have gas left in the tank. He did deal with some injury issues last year. So, I don't know, something to keep an eye on. But, Jake, how are you feeling now? I mean, that changes the whole complexion of our wide receiver room. And, people were saying we didn't do enough to address receiver. It's almost like this was like a ace in the hole or like a back pocket move that John Robinson was going to play this whole time. I think he had some sneaking suspicion that we were going to be able to land Julio after all this time. But anyway, take it away. How are you feeling about this, Jake?
Definitely so excited. I was really feeling a little down and a little blue after the draft, a little two-tone blue, if you will, Justin. Yeah, your shirt gave me some inspiration there, kind of came up with it on the cuff. But anyways, feeling a little blue about the 2021 season. The Titans didn't necessarily get better on paper. If anything, they maybe downgraded. A lot of question marks with rookies coming in. A lot was hinging on if, they're going to produce. And now with this kind of all-in move on the offense, I am back 100% incredibly excited for Titans football. And it's just that. It feels like John Robinson pushing all the chips to the center of the table and kind of reopening that championship window a little bit, Justin. We've talked about last year after the AFC championship. Last season was kind of the opening of a window, maybe a 2-year period where the Titans really have a shot at contending in the AFC. Obviously, with the defensive performance last year, getting ousted in the wild card round, that window seemed to be shutting. And then with the offseason, how it was going, wasn't feeling so excited, but now fully back on board. And like you said about John Robinson having an ace in the hole, I saw Ian Rappaport today talking about how this was being discussed, a couple of days before the draft even. So John Robinson knew that he had his eyes on Julio Jones coming to Nashville before the draft, and that's probably why you didn't see Elijah Moore come to the Titans, or they didn't pick a wide receiver till 4th round with Des Fitzpatrick. But yes, I love this move. I felt like a kid on Christmas morning. My dad texted me and broke the news at about, I think, 10 a.m. Eastern time here, and I was so jazzed. A great way to start the day.
Dude, yeah. And I mean, the Titans were always kind of in that conversation, like Titans, Seahawks, and I don't know, Patriots are like front runners. So like we were always there. But I don't know, some people called it you just had a sneaking suspicion, especially with the Arthur Smith connection, that, this move makes sense. You see all these these casuals, as you say, on Twitter, even, the official, NFL analysts or commentators, they got the blue check marks and everything. It's like, this is a weird move, or I don't know how much better this move makes the Titans. Like, this move made complete sense from Julio Jones' side and the Titans side. We had a clear need of another wide receiver for this group, because it was AJ Brown, pretty decent gap, and we have Josh Reynolds. I mean, Josh Reynolds isn't a slouch, but and then that's pretty much it. Then you got Cam Batson and just another guys that should be at the bottom of the depth chart. But this move makes complete sense, just from any NFL fan commentator viewpoint in general. And Julio Jones also, he said he wanted to go to a winner. And people are still downing the Titans, like, oh, why did he go to the Titans if he wants to go to a winner? Guys, we just won our AFC South division, and we are 5 years in a row now with having a winning record. Like this, we have built a winning culture. We are a winning football team. We got to still put it together and get that Super Bowl, obviously. But Julio Jones believes it, and he came to I think he had some say, or maybe he had a lot of say in the destination that the Falcons were going to send him to. But the move makes sense. And Ryan Tannehill, you see a lot of casuals once again thinking that, what's he going to do with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback? Well, you haven't been watching Ryan Tannehill for the past 2 seasons then. He's one of the best. He has one of the best QB ratings. He has as many touchdowns, I think I saw, as Patrick Mahomes, or right around that area. He can throw the deep ball really well. Ryan Tannehill is the complete package franchise quarterback. That's how he's been playing for it the past 2 years. So, I mean, dude, it's just a plethora of options that we can go down. And I think we talked about it before we started recording. This is going to take so much pressure just off of everything. Obviously, Josh Reynolds, you kind of forget about him now. You just think, oh man, Julio Jones, AJ Brown, Tannehill, Derrick Henry, this offense is going to light it up. Josh Reynolds is still there, and that guy can play. And I think he's going to get a lot of favorable matchups as our wide receiver 3. And I think it also takes pressure off of the running game. Maybe we don't. Maybe, people would love to see Derrick Henry go for 2,000 yards again, but we don't need to give him the ball 400 times a season now, especially with all these passing weapons that we have that we can utilize. So I think it'll bring more balance to the offense. Just pressure's off of everything. The only thing I'm worried about, Jake, is this offensive coordinator. It's almost like, dude, just get out of the way. Just say, just don't overthink it. Just let your badasses work and let them go get the job done. So yeah, hopefully, what's his name? Todd Downing, our offensive coordinator. Dude, it shouldn't be too difficult for this to be a top 5 offense. I mean, if something bad would have to happen, I mean, injuries or something, for this not to be another top 5 offense in the league coming up. So yeah, that's just kind of my initial takeaways still from this and processing it.
I love the Todd Downing just get out of the way kind of argument there. I mean, I feel like, you could send me in there drawing routes on the back of a football, backyard football style. And the Titans would at least have a productive offense with the weapons that they currently have in their stable. I love that you bring up Josh Reynolds. I initially wasn't very high on Josh Reynolds coming to town. Obviously, people were like, is this going to be it? Is this going to be it? Obviously not now with Julio coming to town. But with Josh Reynolds, you have to think he's in the Rams offense, where Jared Goff has a huge stable of wide receivers to throw to. And he was just down on the depth chart because there were so many mouths to feed in LA. So I'm seeing more and more things around Josh Reynolds that, he can be very productive, especially when you have AJ Brown and Julio Jones kind of taking away the defense's attention, like you said. And then, big 22 in the backfield. This offense is going to be special again, Justin. And it's something Titans fans, I think, deserve after, the Mariota era of scoring 16 to 20 points a game and hoping we can hold on. Now it's, these offenses are going to have to hold on to us. They're going to have to watch out for the Titans offense. Now the shoe is on the other foot, so to speak. I love it. And it feels good to have the Titans at, the top of all the headlines in the NFL right now. I know it might be just for this short bubble of the Julio trade, but we're the talk of the town right now in the NFL.
You think people hate it?
Still, so go ahead.
You think that national media like hates it a little bit? Like, oh God, he went to the Titans. It's hard to get excited about a small market team like us. But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like if he had gone to the Patriots, like this would be nonstop talk until the week 1 of the season. I don't know. I always get that feeling. I always have that small little brother mentality, I guess, so to speak, whenever it comes to the Titans and being in the national spotlight like this. But this is one of the biggest. Would you say this is one of the biggest moves in the modern Titans era that we've made as far as landing a superstar for the team? Like, who was the last one? Like DeMarco Murray was a really big name.
Like even though he was kind of dipping in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he came off a bad year. Yeah.
I would say it's the biggest, at least in my Titans watching career, if you will. I was listening to the OTP official Titans podcast, and they were talking about Keith Carter in the early 2000s. That was a little bit before my time personally, but I mean, this
Kevin
is
Carter.
Yeah. Or did I mess up that name?
Keith Carter. Isn't he like our defensive line coach?
Yeah. all these
Keith, it was close.
Keith Bullock. I don't know which one.
Keith. Yeah. I got what you mean though. Yeah, that was a big signing. And I mean, we had like Randy Moss for a short period, and then even Andre Johnson. That was still like at the ends of their careers. Like Julio Jones, unless he gets injured again, it still seems like he's in the prime of his career. Because 2 seasons ago, he went out for like 1,300 yards. That's excellent. That's Pro Bowl stuff right there. So he can stay healthy. Like, he's got so much more to offer than I guess Randy Moss and Andre Johnson at that point in their career.
Exactly. I don't, it's kind of very much apples to oranges because, Andre Johnson was real moonlight in his career. Randy Moss was, I guess it was before his,
he went to San Francisco after us.
Yes. And played in the Super Bowl.
He played in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. That was way twilight of his career too. I mean, Julio Jones is coming off a season where, yes, he was injury hampered, lingering hamstring issue. I think the amount of games he ended up missing had to do with the Falcons not being in contention for playoffs and things like that. But he's coming off a year where he played about half the season and still had 700 receiving yards. I mean, the dude is an absolute monster.
Yeah, man. And then, there's nothing to worry about with this offense unless, quick, I also want to bring up, we're getting Taylor Lewan back. So I think this offensive line is going to be great. We'll see what happens at the right tackle position. If our second rounder, we got Dylan Radins. That's his name. Yeah. We're gonna be set just completely on offense. Except, how do you feel still about this tight end situation, Jake? We still have our guy Anthony Firkser there, but doesn't strike you as your tight end one. He's more of a slot receiving kind of tight end, as we've mentioned in the past. So is there still a move to be made? Are we going to have to just, bring up somebody in training camp to hopefully really take a stranglehold on the tight end one position? Or is Anthony Firkser our guy? They're going to take the majority of snaps.
I guess with the Four Horsemen of the Nashville apocalypse that we've been kind of trademarking as a fan base, with Tannehill, AJ Brown, Julio, Derrick Henry, obviously. The tight end position not having a clear-cut number one doesn't bother me nearly as much as before the Julio trade, And John Robinson even said in his presser post-Julio that he's still evaluating, obviously always churning over the roster, seeing where they can improve. And that included the tight end position. He highlighted that specifically. And I'm going to throw out a name, Justin.
Give it to me.
What would you feel about a reunion with our old friend, Delanie Walker, who is still on the market? He tried out for the 49ers. They flirted with a reunion, but I don't necessarily think we need a tight end number one coming in. I think if you brought in Delanie Walker, he would probably be super cheap. Talk about a dude who's in the twilight of his career. Yeah. But he's going to bring a veteran leadership to the locker room. It's going to be one of those dudes who can really step up, be a voice on the team, and, help you make that Super Bowl push that the Titans are obviously now pushing for. And I would personally love to see it because he's going to add an extra weapon. I think he can still play to some degree. You can put him in there in goal line packages, 3 tight end stuff, and have him spread out and at least catch a couple of balls during the year. But I think his leadership and his camaraderie with the team, even Taylor Lewan said, let's bring the boy back. And Delanie Walker was right back at him. He said, I'm always for the boys. So, I don't think that's entirely off the table. And that's what I said off camera just before we started. I got a surprise name for you to bring up in this Titans offense. What would you think if the Titans went out and signed Delanie Walker again?
I think you brought up all the good points. I would be for it, especially with how cheap he would probably come. I'm kind of concerned that, he went to trial for the 49ers and he has, of course, a history there. I don't know if there's anyone left on that roster from back whenever he played. I mean, he's pretty old. He's been in the league since like 2006. I mean, of course, he did take the year off last year, and then the year before it's weird. Yeah, he was on our team 2 years ago, but it feels like an eternity ago last time we saw Delanie Walker playing for us. But I would definitely be for it. We're not going to ask him and want him or need him to be the Delanie Walker of 2015, 2016, when he was like our number one, only capable pass catching target. He would be way down on the depth chart as far as pass catchers go. But I think he can come in, still be effective. He'll provide depth. He's got the leadership. Like the camaraderie, the locker room presence would all be good things that he could bring. Like put him in some 3 tight end packages, goal line situations. We'll see. You still kind of worry if he's still going to be washed up. I wonder what happened with San Francisco. Did his workout just not go as well? Maybe the wheels are kind of starting to fall off. But I kind of look at it the other way. Maybe this year off helped him, recover from, he broke his ankle or broke his leg. I can't remember exactly what injury he had, but maybe he just needed some time to recoup. And as long as he's been staying in shape, then I think he could still have more to offer in a limited capacity. I mean, his snap count would be way down, but I would be for it. And I mean, we have a need there, and he would be cheap, and I think he could still be effective. So, I think we should explore all the options we have at tight end and not just like kind of fall in love with the reunion scenario. Yeah. But obviously Delanie Walker is one of my all-time favorite Titans. So I would be welcoming him back in any capacity if that's what the Titans choose to do. But yeah, sure. Let's bring him in and, add some depth to that position. I think there's still a hole to be filled there.
Mm-hmm. And it all goes back to my thought process goes to, yes, the Titans and Tennessee has created a winning culture around the Titans brand that did not used to be there. And who was one of the key players in really pulling that lever and changing it to a winning culture? Delanie Walker. So I think it's more so the fanhood of like, give Delanie a ring, give Mariota a ring, I'm getting way ahead of myself naturally and passing out Super Bowl rings already. We just traded for, an aging Julio. I need to pump the brakes a little bit, but I guess we can segue that into expectations, Justin. It's all going to come down to this defense at the end of the day. I hate to tell everybody, yes, the Titans could have the number one offense in the league, which they did last year for a decent chunk of the season, at least statistically. But it all comes down to your defense being able to at least, hold on, kind of keep pace and hold on best you can. What do you think? What are your expectations going into this season realistically?
Man, I'll answer that question, but I just, I keep getting sad whenever I think about how great this offense was. And then you think the defense was what was holding us back. But look at the playoff game when our defense put it together and held Baltimore to 20 points, and our offense could not get to 20 points for the third time maybe all season that they couldn't put up 20. So that was crazy. We got the defensive performance of the season last year, and the offense sputtered at the worst possible time. But the expectation should be higher. Still, then I think I keep going back and forth. I still think the offense is there and they're going to be a top 5 offense. But I mean, of course, we still did lose Jonnu Smith, Corey Davis, and Adam Humphries, who kind of battled his own injury issues throughout his tenure here. But does signing Julio Jones and Josh Reynolds completely cover that up? I don't know, remains to be seen, but the top end talent that we're going to be putting out there is just incredible. And yeah, I'm not worried so much about the offense. The question is, will this defense improve with the transactions we've made? And I think so. I really like what we've done. You know, Bud Dupree and Danico Autry, especially. I really liked him when he was playing for the Colts. He seemed to do damage on us every single time we played him. And then we also got Avery Jones recently from the Jacksonville Jaguars. So that's another good depth signing. We'll see how these corners play out that we got in the draft. They're going to have to grow up fast. And you know what? It's going to be good, I think, for them to go up against A.J. Brown and Julio Jones every single day in practice. That'll get you ready for the NFL season. That's for sure.
That it will.
So hopefully it's like one of those things they say, iron sharpens iron. Excuse me. Iron sharpens iron is the saying that I heard Titans players throw around a lot. So hopefully it's a situation like that. You know, we still got Kevin Byard back there, and I like how the strong safety's coming along. Amani Hooker.
Yes.
I'm rusty, Jake. Forgive me.
It's all right. Hey, just like the last video I mentioned, it's the off season. We'll have a training camp. And this is the emergency press conference that I alluded to at the end of the last video. So yeah, this is kind of a hastily, you know, I got a sticky note just full of talking points. So no worries there, dude. No worries on being rusty.
Forgive me, Amani Hooker. I know you're probably a huge fan of this channel and you're probably watching it right now with your entire family. I do know that you're our starting strong safety, so you're coming along great.
Yes.
Yeah, so we got the cornerbacks there. You know, Jayon Brown, I think it's clutch that he decided to come back and sign back with us for probably cheaper. I think he definitely could have gotten more money going to another team. But he's a huge return for us. And hopefully Rashaan Evans can kind of get back to where he was a couple seasons ago when he was trending really high up, and he was a key part of our defense. I think it was the 2018 season where he was like one of our best players on defense. I don't know what's been going on with him, but it seemed like he did have kind of a bad year last year. So hopefully he can come around. And then I guess I'm going through our entire defense. And Harold Landry and Jeffrey Simmons, baby. Jeff Simmons coming in strong with his third season with us. I think he's going to continue to get better. So, you know, a lot of pressure is going to be set on this young cornerback class, and Janoris Jenkins, who's kind of getting older as well. But I think you gotta think the defense is going to be better. It's hard to get worse. We ended on a high note, even though the team lost. We ended on a pretty good defensive effort against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens in the playoffs. Fortunately, the offense died. But I gotta think the defense is going to be better. And I'm looking at, you know, with the 17 game schedule this year, I'm thinking we get back to 11, 12 wins, like an 11-6, 12-5. And I think that is almost like a low projection. I'm just super excited about this offense, and we might just be difficult to outscore, and that's going to be just the issue. We might see another season of us winning games 35-31. So I'm getting hyped. I'm ready to sit back and watch the show that is the Four Horsemen, and I think it's going to be a very fun season, probably as fun as last year. So I got high expectations. I don't know. What about you?
I love it. I'm right there with you in that like 11-13 neighborhood. I'm still getting really used to the new records in the NFL. I don't like saying the Titans are going to go 11-6. That sounds weird. That sounds different.
That's bad.
But I'm about there right with you. I had this kind of the same talking points about the defense. I feel confident in the defense minus our, you know, the cornerback situation. I think the defensive line feeling good with, you know, Landry and Simmons and Danico Autry now. I'm feeling okay there. The linebackers, more to be desired, but I think good enough. And then on the back end at safety, I think that the combination of Amani Hooker and Kevin Byard, I'm very, very comfortable with that. So yeah, it is going to be a lot on these young corners plus the old man of the group, Janoris Jenkins. But yeah, I'm going to say 12-5 is going to be where the Titans land. I just really, really hope that bringing in Jim Schwartz to kind of help out with the defense, kind of retooling everything, obviously big new crop of players. I'm hoping that this defense can turn a corner and at least be middle of the pack, because I think if the defense is middle of the pack last year, the Titans kind of run away with the AFC South, and hopefully we can see something like that happen this year. You know, and just talking about it too, going back to the point of, you know, yes, I'm worried about the defense, but guess what? your defense is going to have to worry about us. You know, it's kind of that principle. And I don't know if my heart can take, another full season of 35-31 or 42-40 overtime games, stuff like that. Oh,
we need a kicker that can make kicks. That gave me like 3 heart attacks throughout the season in and of itself.
Yes.
Gostowski, yes. Who are you? I'm still not sure if he's good. Was he good last year or wasn't he? Because he could drill some kicks for us at the latter part of the season. But at the beginning, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. So
no,
it was pretty bad.
But yeah,
but I was going to say, kind of going back to the schedule and the record predictions, I kind of, I think we win the AFC South again, and I think that's probably where we're going to win the majority of our games. Or I guess to say we should almost sweep the AFC South. And I'm sorry, no disrespect to everyone except for the Texans. There's no way we can lose to the Texans this year. They are in complete bottom of the barrel rebuild mode. JRob Taylor's expected to be their starting quarterback. Who's their receivers now? I mean, they have nobody left. All right, I don't know. I might be completely ignorant. They might have made some moves, but Jacksonville, unless Trevor Lawrence comes in and just lights it up, and he's the Russell Wilson type rookie year, just kind of just it clicks right away for him. I'm not convinced yet. Of course, you got to wait to see him play a snap in the NFL to kind of start making judgments on him. But not worried about the Jags. The Colts, they have the best defense in the AFC South. I'll give them that, but I think Carson Wentz is going to be a downgrade from Phillip Rivers last year. I don't think their offense is going to be there still. I think that's what's going to hold them back. But looking at the other games, we kind of have a pretty hard schedule. So hopefully we need to win these AFC South games. We got to play the Bills on Monday night. We play the Chiefs. We play the Saints. The Cardinals opening weekend, they're not going to be a slouch. They're going to be gunning for a playoff position, maybe a division championship in the tough NFC West. So we got to play the whole NFC West. That stinks. The Rams are going to be awesome with Matt Stafford. And the Seahawks, good Lord. Yeah, we have a hard schedule, Jay, and we need to win our division. We need to win our divisional games for sure. And I thank goodness that it looks like it's going to be a fairly weak year, it seems like, especially the Texans and Jags. I don't know about the Colts. We'll see how Carson Wentz pans out for him. But, that's how I'm kind of looking at it. So my hopes are high, but it all starts with the division, I think, this year for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think I'm right there with you. The only real competition to worry about is Indianapolis, and I smirk every time I think about it because it's Carson. They signed Carson Wentz, one of the most turnover prone, comedically falling over himself quarterback of the past 2 seasons. And when you say it's a downgrade from Phillip Rivers the last year in his career before retiring, I mean, come on, dude.
He was pretty good though. I thought Phillip Rivers was still played pretty well for his last year. Like he put up some good stats. He had some good games. He crushed us a couple times, or at least the first time we played him.
Yeah, definitely not a knock on Phillip Rivers, but I'm just by comparison. When you think of Phillip Rivers last year before retirement, Carson Wentz definite downgrade there. But it's going to be the Titans, Colts, kind of. Oof. They split last year. I would like to see the Titans get a full sweep of the division this year. And I'm there with you. I think the Titans repeat as AFC South champs as it stands today on June 7th, 2021. So I'll come back to this video if we were wrong on that, but hey, it's Titans tube, not Colts, Jags, or Texans tube. So obviously
we're expected to win. We're taking the division. And you know what? Julio Jones did not come here to win an AFC South. We got bigger goals in mind. We said it at the top of the show. This Super Bowl window may be extended for like the next 2 years. We'll see what the contract details. We'll see. I think Julio Jones's contract details might get restructured. There's going to be a few contract restructures to free up the money. I think it seems like that's what was going to happen. So we'll see. We'll see how long we can keep this 4 core horsemen together. I don't know what the nickname's going to be. That's probably
I like the Four Horsemen moniker. I kind of really like that. It sums it up perfectly. I mean, that's what they are. I mean, you better be ready for them, or they're going to run roughshod on your defense.
Steelers had 3, the triple Bs or the Bs. Big Ben and Brown and Bell. When Le'Veon Bell was there, but now we've got 4. We got 4 people in this group. So let's do Four Horsemen until otherwise noted, unless someone else comes up with something else.
Perfect, man. Do you have any closing points to finish our emergency press conference rambling episode of, oh my God, we have Julio Jones now?
Oh my God. Dude, I don't know. It's so crazy that Julio Jones is going to be wearing the two-tone blue, and we're going to be one of the hottest offenses in the NFL, a far cry from where we were a few seasons ago with Mariota. God bless him. We'll always love Mariota, but we had some struggling offenses when he was back there. But man, yeah, it's super exciting. You guys, I hope you guys are just as excited as we are. Unless you're a division rival fan watching this channel, you should be afraid. I mean, anything that you're you're like, oh, well, Julio's old and injury prone. He's got Tannehill as his quarterback. That's some like defense mechanism that you're trying to push down your fear. That's what's happening, guys. You got to come to the reality that we are gonna rip you guys apart come September. I'm talking a lot of trash right now, so I don't want it to blow up in my face. So
yeah, dude, I feel the same exact thing. Here we are passing out Super Bowl rings and talking bad trash on the division like we've won anything in the past, 10 years other than last year.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
But I have a level of excitement I've never had with such star power alone on this Titans team. The names on this Titans team, as far as people know who these people are, when obviously national media will mention the Four Horsemen every single Sunday, and it's it's something that I've never had as a Titans fan, and man, does it feel good to have a little bit of star power on our side finally.
Man, you got there. Long gone are the days of Dorial Green Beckham and Justin Hunter and Bishop Sankey. And who do the Titans have? You can't name a single player. Stay away from Titans players when it comes to fantasy football because they can never be relied on. Now we're going to have one of the most popular fantasy teams or players being drafted in fantasy of any team. We got star power, like you said. I like it.
Yes.
And it's a rare, exciting feeling. And we just keep adding the pieces. We thought we had star power last year. We added a superstar again this year. So definitely excited. I'm ready. I'm ready for September to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. I think that's going to do it for this episode of Titans Tube. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Julio.
Who? Leo?
Leo. I love it. Man, there's all we can go forever on this.
Yeah.
And I just extra shout out to AJ Brown for the recruiting videos. You got to love to see the personality kind of flourishing as AJ Brown ascends in NFL stardom. But anyways, that's going to do it for us. Justin, great talking to you as always, my sir.
You as well.
Sir.
You as well. I am your sir, and you are my sire, sir. So, yes, we'll do this again. I guess whenever we sign another superstar, because that seems to be JRob's MO right now. But, yeah, we'll be out with another video, maybe around training camp, just update, talk Titans football. It's kind of what we do sometimes. Yeah. All right, man.
Perfect. All right. Peace out, y'all.
See you guys.